It doesn't make sense.
Well, here we go. Your grand final. Mohamed Light with the chance to secure yet another World Finals appearance. Would be 5 in a row, appearing at all of our solo World Finals. And Sub. Either way, and we'll talk about the points picture at the end of the day some more as we've mentioned. But either way, now with making it into the top 2, Sub is guaranteed 90 points for the second time, which will put him at 180 and firmly in the lead overall for that points leaderboard. And I think that the number 6 player on the points leaderboard is maybe going to have like just better than half that points-wise. So he's going to be way ahead of everybody with only 2 more monthly finals left. So either way, my guess is Sub is going to World Finals, whether he wins a golden ticket now or does it by qualifying on points. But, of course, he'd love to just get it sewn up and win that 15K.
Yeah, he has to be feeling absolutely fantastic about his spot. And right there, Mohamed Light going to try the same thing, and this time it works. I saw him mutter to himself, and he said, wow. And I was saying the exact same thing. Put down the Knight on top of the wall breakers. One of them still connected. I don't know if it's what the situation was, but this time defended it properly and no chip damage. And again, we talk about Sub trying not to be predictable. Again, he uses bait in game number 1.
And the same variant, too. He's not changing things up. So just likes this as game 1 for his BO5s. And first graveyard push in for Mohamed. And the Dark Goblin does finally step into the poison. Spears will add a little bit more to it, and that's a pretty significant chunk of damage, plus a swing from the Barbarian.
Yeah, cannot be happy with that. Mohamed Light just trying to make every prediction that he can, even when it's not necessary. He just wants to show you that he could. And right there, that was necessary. Protects his Goblin Hut. And an absolute beauty of a defense and a beauty of an offense. Just putting on a clinic like we're just used to at this point.
Yeah, put this kid on the Wheaties box. Bar barrel onto the right-hand side in response to the Goblin Barrel. I predicted the defense on that one. No worries.
The next Mohamed Light. Whenever you choose.
Thumbs would have to work.
Dark Goblin over the middle, going to be able to take out the Goblin Hut entirely. And so the Bar Barrel does take it out. Has to be worried about the Evo Goblin Barrel. That's exactly what happens. The Witch will be fine. You're going to get a couple chip shots. But Mohamed Light just a little too early on his prediction of the Goblin Barrel coming down.
Into the right-hand side. Dark Goblin just hanging out too far away for Mohamed Light to get any value. Now Poison will come out late. And look at that Skeleton working on the left-hand lane as well. Doesn't matter. Right-hand lane done. Mohamed Light wins game number 1.
I think we need to see some changes.
All right, game 2. Mo opens up with the Fire Spirit. Curse will stop it and reverse it.
Flip it and reverse it.
And a bit of a slow start for this one now. Sub maybe trying to weigh his options. But we might be into the very rare in the modern era staring contest. And no, Sub decides we're not going to wait.
Yeah, every once in a while you see it with the Chef decks and the Cannoneer decks. Not super often where you see it with the Princess Towers, and that's why both players electing to play Mohamed Light using the Mighty Miner plus the Fireball. Sub on the other side running the Xyz. So trying to figure out what I believe his deck is going to be. And I still do not know. Still kind of just waiting and to see what he's going to be using.
Ram Rider into the right-hand lane. And Mo opts for the Snowball and Fire Spirit to stop the connection. Sub cycles both his small spells.
Goblin Barrel, or the Goblin Spell, actually got quite a bit more value than I expected. Because of the Goblin Spell, the Spear Goblins were able to survive and force out the guards, so definitely really like that play from Sub. And Sub, I really expected to see Mega Knight be his final card. Not going to be the case. Going to be running the Boss Bandit, Quick Cycle, Ram Rider. We don't really see this because it always feels like you need that tank. It's going to be interesting to see as this game goes along if the lack of tank is going to end up hurting him or allowing him to cycle quickly enough to win.
Well, I mean, what kind of role is the Evo Xe going to play in this one, right? With a little bit of tankiness, add in the knockback.
Yeah, the problem is with this matchup, there's nothing to really knock back. The Mighty Miner doesn't get knocked back. When it's used on top of the Goblin Drill, it's still going to get value. This is kind of a nightmare scenario for an Evo Xe deck.
All that gets brought back. Zap trying to slow things down. I like the thought from Mohamed Light of trying to push through with the Evo Snowball. Doesn't get as much from it, so we go to sudden death overtime. Mohamed with the 1 game lead and 600-ish damage in that right-hand lane.
Sub cycling the Evo Xe in the back, trying all sorts of angles to try and get through. Does force out the Mighty Miner on the left side, so that can be pretty interesting to see how that ends up affecting things. And we've got a push going. Evo Xe.
And forces the Snowball out from Mohamed Light to make sure that connection doesn't happen. 90 seconds left, and Sub now back to the drawing board trying to figure out how does he get into the second level.
Goes in with the Evo Cannon, going to be able to take everything out. And elects to protect his Goblin Demolisher. I was wondering if he wanted to go in with the drill on the left side. He just wants to play defense, defense, defense. And right there does miss the fireball because of the activated ability.
Ghost on the left-hand side will require some attention. Cannon comes down to pull both. Mighty Miner does distract the Ghost. And Mohamed Light's defense continues to be pitch perfect. And now he decides to go on the offensive.
The double Goblin Demolisher pushes are just so unbelievably powerful. The Ghost goes invisible. That allows the Goblin Demolisher to lock onto the Xe. And another Goblin Demolisher trying to take it out. Wow, these Xe's just not getting any value whatsoever.
Evo Snowball to roll all of it back. Drill puts the discussion over back on Sub's side. And Sub just going to kind of slowly bleed. Mohamed Light, patient as always, and now 1 win away from what we expect to say is Mohamed Light with the golden ticket.
It always kills me how these top competitors, these top 5 players, top 10 players in the world celebrate when Mohamed Light wins a monthly final when they're not playing in it. They are so happy. They're only rooting for him because they know just how dangerous he is. Game 3 on its way. Can Mohamed Light get the sweep? Will Sub take Game 3 and force a Game 4? Let's find out here.
Mighty Miner guards for Sub. Oh, interesting. Getting a clarification on this one. If Mohamed Light wins the golden ticket, Sub's extra would go to Lucas for being the 3rd in this place. But if Sub wins the golden ticket, his old silver ticket would go to the player who got 3rd in the event where he earned it. So if Sub somehow wins the golden ticket, his silver ticket would go to Vitor, who got 3rd place in that event. So that's fascinating information.
Yeah, a lot of And I mean, just think how crazy it's going to get once we reach those final months of the monthly finals. Here, though, Mohamed Light running his patented minor plus Tesla plus Little Prince. This is something that he rarely, if ever, loses with. So it's going to be very hard, but we're going to see what Sub has ready for Mohamed Light.
And Mighty Miner switches the field. Log to clear, doesn't do much. Little Prince going to take the Firecracker off the board. Rocket to clear the Tesla. No combination, though. Mohamed Light not able to get enough elixir to get the Guardian out in front of the Little Prince. So it gets Rocket value alone.
And then right there, that's a net 5 for net 5 between Sub and Mohamed Light when they got their pushes. The Miner plus Rocket with the Tesla defended. And the difference between the Rocket damage and the Earthquake damage was just so massive. Sub trying a lot of different things, but I think it's got to do something with Firecracker chip damage. I just don't know how you do that. It's just such perfect defense coming from Mohamed Light every time.
Valk up high. Princess staying alive. Evo Firecracker will clear her off the board. So as we go into sudden death overtime, Mohamed Light plenty of elixir and just already playing the rocket cycle game.
Yeah, pretty shocking with all those troops coming down the field, still thinking that it was okay for him to use the rocket like this. And he's going to defend with the rocket as well. With the Earthquake, that might get a second shot, but no, only gets one shot from the Firecracker.
18-17, 15-55. Miner to the back. Guards get their shields ripped off. And forcing Sub to play the right lane. This is the thing that Mohamed Light really is going to like here. And he is just ripping these rockets onto tower.
Yeah, no regard for anything besides just getting as much chip damage as he possibly can. Valk not going to be able to bring over the Firecracker, so the Firecracker is going to get a little bit of chip damage. No log in cycle for Mohamed Light, so some sort of push, but right there, beautiful E-Spirit chains on top of the Firecracker.
Well, and you just see the way that Mohamed sees the various options, right? He knew that even though he might not be in a good Tesla situation for that hog, he had Evo Valk. So the number of different defenses he has, he'll have something here. He'll have Tesla for this one. Yep, Evo Tesla up high, able to rocket cycle. And this is just absolute shutdown city because of the wide variety of options he has. The victory rocket, and Mohamed Light does it once again. Yet another monthly final, yet another golden ticket for the Pharaoh, two-time world champion and owner of a very, very nice-looking cat.
Yeah, congratulations to Mohamed Light. 3-0 on the day. Has to feel just incredible.